Some people, once they come up with a story idea, they are able to develop it into a novel. Some are not able to develop it at all, while some are in between. In this video, I'm teaching you how to turn your idea into a novel. My name is Ifnaya Precious Umalajeku, and I create helpful videos that help writers like me. But before we go deeper, we have to know what a plot is. A plot is a series of events that you make your character go through to make it an actual novel. An example is if you want to say a lady fell, it is not a plot. Making it a plot, you have to add events that cause the woman's fall. So, how to do this is now let's turn this into a plot. A woman slipped over a banana peel and fell. Now, this makes more sense. There is something that caused the woman's fall, making this a plot. The storyline you have come up with, what you should do first is to write down every single thing on a notebook or a jotter. Write down what your character looks like, where they live, what is normal to them. And if you don't fancy writing it down, you can as well record yourself saying all these things, whatever that works for you. Remember, you won't be able to remember all these things because I'm sure there are many things happening in your life. So you need to write them down because it's very possible that you forget these things. The next thing you must do is to find the genre your storyline or story idea falls under. You don't want to end up creating scenes that don't fall under your genre. Let's say your storyline is Cassandra got missing and she must be found. Now, this sounds like a mystery genre. So, so you should note this. Let's say a boss fell in love with his worker. This is a romance novel. So you should note that it's a romance novel. Now, after finding the right genre for your storyline, what you should do next is to create those things that will automatically turn your storyline into a novel. How to do this is reading a book that will help you develop more on that idea and also get more scenes that you feel will fit well into that idea. Or you can try watching a movie that falls under the genre of your story idea. It will also help you develop it more. Now, let's say your story idea is Cassandra got missing and must be found. You want a scene that will help us find Cassandra. So with this, I'm going to create a scene. The scene is you want something starting with how she got kidnapped or how she got missing, something like that, something that will fit well into your storyline. That's kind of scene. Now let's say that she was walking down the road and a vehicle crossed her path, and then a group of men got down from the car and kidnapped her. Now, this is the beginning. This can drive a whole lot of curiosity to your reader. They'll be like, God, what happened to her? Why are they taking her? And all those kind of things actually drive curiosity and actually make your readers stick to your book. You can actually make your readers more curious by starting. She's already taken captive by kidnappers, and then she's crying and talking about how her life was, and maybe some flashback or something. You can actually start like that, and then it will make people like, why is she here? What actually happened to her? How did she end up here? This can also drive curiosity. Now you must try to write down about 20 scenes that you want to happen in your novel after reading that book that falls under your genre, after watching that movie that falls under your genre. I know it might seem pretty hard writing down 20 scenes, yes, but you should try to write it down. It helps. Next thing is that you must find the end of your story. How do you wish your story to end? Now let's talk about Cassandra's story when she was kidnapped, or maybe you want the end to be that she'll be found. Okay, you should note that so that whatever thing you are writing will be leading to it. You don't want to be distorting what you actually want, so it won't look like something that just came out of the blue and like you never planned the end and it just happened. Yeah, you don't want it to look like that. Or if it's a romance novel, the question you want your readers to be asking themselves is, would they end up together at the end? All that stuff. So you should try to figure out how you want your novel to end like. And once you do that, it will help you organize your story more properly. First, you think of conflicts that will happen in your story. This will pull readers' emotions, and this will really help them to stick to your book. Remember to make sure that your characters have emotions so that they can connect to your readers. But again, you don't want them to be laughing every time or to be crying every time. It's not get so boring and to make your readers want to dump your book. And you don't want that. You want it to be stable. You don't want it to be too much of something. The last thing you should note is that your scenes must be realistic. You shouldn't create an unrealistic scene. It wouldn't make sense, and to make your story seem abnormal. Okay, let's say a woman was walking on the road and she sees an old man and she punches him on the face. It doesn't make any sense. It sounds so unrealistic. Why would a girl that doesn't know an old man be walking and then she now punched him on the face? So it's actually sounding funny. So you don't want that. You don't want unrealistic scene. Okay, you don't want that. You want something real. Or maybe when your characters are having a conversation, this person says, "How are you?" The other person say, "I'm fine." How is family? They are fine. How is everybody? They are fine. How is school and home and cooking? It is fine. You don't want that long, unrealistic conversation. No one does that. No one asks you something like that. It's so unrealistic and it is also boring. So you don't want that. Okay, just think about it. In a normal day, a girl is walking. What do you think will happen when she's walking? She sees an old man. What do you think it happens when she's walking and she sees an old man? Probably greets him in a normal, realistic way, or she just probably pass him because she doesn't know the old man. Yeah. So you should make them realistic. Just think about your everyday life. If that kind of thing has ever happened to you, you can also use your own experience and write that realistic scene perfectly fine. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please subscribe and hit that notification button to always get notified whenever I upload a new video. Till next time.